Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of what is going to be a multi-part series for my camping trip here at Allegany State Park. Be here from June 21st to the 28th. It is currently the 23rd. We checked in on the 21st, which was a Saturday. I think we got to the cabin just around 5 o'clock, kind of settled in. And yeah, I don't think I did anything really photography-wise on the day of the check-in, just because I wanted to get settled in, not really think too much about photography. But yesterday, I did get up for sunrise, partially because I really couldn't fall asleep. Getting used to a new setting like this, no AC with how hot it's been so far this week. Sleeping in a bed that's not that comfortable. Obviously takes a little getting used to. Got it for sunrise, which of course this time of year sunrise is super early. I think I got up at around 5, and I went down to Science Lake since our cabin here at Deal is not too far down the road. Had a very productive morning there, saw a lot of really cool wildlife, and I think I got some pretty awesome photos, any of which I'll share on the screen for you guys. And then later that evening, took a bike ride down to Quaker Lake. Via the bike path, found some really cool subjects along the way, and had some amazing light at the lake on that southern end meadow that I've photographed before. And actually took in some really amazing photos there recently. I'll show a few of those up on the screen right now, just so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. A lot of these pictures I've shared on my Instagram already, so if you want to see more of them, you can check them out there. Of course, you can see them on my website on a bigger screen, which I think is definitely more beneficial. But I was going to vlog yesterday, but, it was my first full day here. Still kind of settling in, both mentally, physically, creatively. But today is the first day that I actually wanted to take a stab at trying to film a video series. This is my second full day here. And right now, I didn't go anywhere this morning because I wanted to take some time this morning to, get a full night's sleep, and then work on some planning, which I actually did that maybe 30 minutes ago. My little photo journal here, which I haven't been using so much. I used to take that with me on every trip. I'd used to write down, before every outing started, write down how I felt, what the conditions were like, what time I showed up, what I was looking for, and then kind of, recap it afterwards. Did I find what I wanted? Did I find new things? Little notes about the area that I was in. So I've been actually bringing that with me because I figured since I have no service here, no distractions, I can actually just focus on writing some things down about the trip and about the areas that I'm visiting. And I think a lot of this stuff is actually going to help me to write my book about Allegany State Park sometime in the future. So just a small piece to that puzzle, but an important one no less. But in there, I also wrote down a list, and I got to give a shout out to Ben Horn because I actually downloaded his new Death Valley series on YouTube since I knew I wouldn't have any service out here. So I downloaded it before I left and then watched it on YouTube. And in that, he's kind of gave a little tidbit about how he plans his trips. He says, makes a list, splits it into 2 columns, one for revisit and one for explore. So I kind of just followed his footsteps there and made a list on just one page of my journal here because I don't think I'll have time to get to multiple pages worth of stuff with how many days I have left. 4 full days, the rest of today, and then Saturday morning. I'll try to get to it as much as I can, but I wrote down a decent amount of stuff. And maybe I'll get to most of it, but we'll see. But took his advice, got some stuff written down, and I think it just helps to give things a bit more direction for the trip. But I just wanted to update you guys and kind of introduce you to this new video series. I'll try to film as much B-roll as I can, try to make things feel a little bit more immersive, a little more cinematic, and less kind of vloggy-like. I only brought this camera with me in terms of video. Of course, I can shoot video on my main camera and on my phone, which I probably will, just for better quality purposes. I don't really like vlogging with this Osmo just because the quality is not super great, but it's hard to beat the the ease of use. I just extend the little stick that I'm using here and just hit record. That's it. And then I have my lav mic going, obviously. So little view out the window there. It is really hot out today, I'm telling you. Like high heat advisory, heat warning. It's like 90 something degrees, extremely humid. I think the heat index today was like over 100 here in the southern tier of western New York. So it's rough out there. I've been trying to avoid the heat as much as possible, not trying to go out on long hikes on a day like today. But I am actually planning on going to Science Lake here in a few minutes, just to kind of, soak in the surroundings, just enjoy, the nature, and maybe shoot some reflections, since that's one of my favorite places to shoot abstract reflections and water ripples, especially since, I can see through the windows here. There is a slight breeze, and maybe some other wildlife there, like fish and beavers and kingfishers, will help to create some other ripples on the water, as they tend to do. So yeah, that is the plan. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready, and we'll drive over there. So it is currently almost 4 o'clock. It's 3:42, and as I said earlier, I was going to go to Science Lake, and I've been here for probably about 45 minutes so far, and there is a nice little breeze, which is great because it is so hot. It is unbelievably hot, but the breeze feels nice, and the breeze is also good, of course, for creating all these ripples down here. Sometimes they're more intense, sometimes they're a little bit more subtle, kind of like they are right now. So you kind of get this striped pattern of, a mix of colors. You get like the green from the trees across the lake here, or the foliage above, and then obviously you get in some of the bright whites of the cloud, and mixing in with the blue sky, and some of the darker water just from the shade. And literally infinite possibilities to be had here. I've just been kind of focusing on really high contrast areas where there's like really bright colors and really dark colors, trying to keep the shutter speed high. I've had the 600 on most of the time, ISO 2000. I don't mind going really high ISO for these, because using noise reduction is obviously gonna maybe soften the image a little bit, although Lightroom denoise does a fantastic job. Yeah, I don't care if I have to use a lot of noise reduction on these types of photos anyways. And there's a lot of fallen pine needles, so I've been using those as kind of a mixture of texture. Obviously I have the ripples and then the pine needles. I did have a stray maple leaf that fell in the water a while ago, and had some great ripples around it, but then it blew up against the shore, and haven't really got a good opportunity for another photo like that since. So, a couple of people showed up down to the spot. I was actually a few people, and I just decided I would move to a little bit of a less crowded space, just down the trail away, well, just down the road away, I should say. I walked a bit of this trail yesterday morning, and found a few interesting scenes. One I'm actually staring at right now. And it's really just this large, I think, yellow birch maybe here, with the sort of Y-shaped tree on the right there that has that diagonal branch through it, and then the other tree just over there. I think these three trees look really, really good together. They're well spaced, and the light right now, while kind of harsh, is actually really nice. There's a lot of contrast going on. Some bright highlights, some dark shadows. And I photographed it in the morning light, but I kind of want to try it right now. And then I may walk into the woods just a bit, see what I can see, but I also want to check something out that's down the road a little bit. And then after I do that, I'm probably going to head back to the cabin, kind of cool off for a little bit, and try to figure out where I'm going to go for the evening. I was kind of hoping I would go to explore today, a new spot, but I feel like I still had some things left to do in this particular part of the park, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that now, I guess. At least that's my my thought process. It's also just good to get in the shade, you know, because like I said already, it is an absolute scorcher outside right now. Definitely noticeably cooler though here in the understory. Alright, so taking a stab at this first scene here. Polarizer is on, as it definitely needs polarizer. I don't know, something about this scene. It's not the most, like, epic or the most complex, but I quite like it. I also like this little section of creek right here. I'm kind of standing here trying to figure out a way to make maybe something like this work right now, and even just a few little glimmers across the road over there. Like all the canopy variation between like hemlocks and, you know, other deciduous trees, right? Sometimes you get these pockets of light that kind of like spotlight a certain area. Like just across the way you have these dark trunks kind of surrounding a patch of these ferns that are getting hit with some like direct sunlight. And just those little things look really, really cool if you can, you know, spot them, if you got the eye for that kind of stuff. But I'm gonna keep my eye on that across the way. But if I had waders, I'd definitely try to walk down this creek here. But I don't even have my muck boots with me. I think I left them back at the cabin. Very peaceful here though. Sound of the running water. Out of the shade, or out of the sun I should say. It's nice. Alright, so it's been a few hours since I last talked to you guys. I'm now at Red House Lake on the Red House side of the park, and I'm currently up on the sort of like the eastern side of the lake, kind of up on a hillside here. As you can see, the lake is down there. But there's this set of 4 or 5 different tree trunks just right down there. And it's a subject I photographed before in December of 2023, I think. We had a really nice bout of like evening fog, and it's still one of my favorite photos I've taken here to this day. And I kind of wanted to check it out just now, just to see what it looks like. And the hillside behind these trees is softly illuminated by the setting sun, and the trees are kind of dark and imposing in front of that lit hillside, so there's a nice bit of contrast here. And I think it'll work, maybe. My hopes aren't super high for it. Kind of struggling in this area right now. I kind of want to just go back to where I parked and move to a different section. A lot of bugs up here too. Perfect time for me to forget my mosquito net as well. But yeah, not really seeing too much. It's maybe because it's how busy it is. I'm just having a hard time like kind of locking in and focusing and finding subjects and vlogging too. So I don't want to force anything. That's the last thing I want to do, because when I get in this kind of mood, I tend to just force things and don't allow myself time to think, because like I'm constantly looking for people coming up and down this bike path right now to not block their way. But I'm going to walk back down to the truck, and I could either go to the wetland area with the boardwalk, or I could go to the wetlands alongside the road near the entrance. So there's some really nice hazy light in the distance, and I'm trying to figure out how to take advantage of that. I'm really not having an easy time doing that. So the sun has set, well, either has just set, yeah, the sun set about 8 minutes ago, probably, and just finishing up here at the wetlands at Red House here by the boardwalks, and didn't really find too much in the way of subjects, but found a couple of small things, one mainly being just some of these reeds, I don't really know what they're called, that stick up out of the water. They kind of look like grass, and a couple of close-ups, especially when there's these, I'm not sure what is causing them, but every now and then there's a little blip in the water, and it creates this circular ripple. So I think I got a couple frames where I captured one of these ripples right in the bottom left of the frame, where I left a lot of negative space for that. So maybe that'll turn out, maybe it won't. Just kind of doing a lot of smaller scenes. So I think that's what works best in this area. There is a nice little sunset happening over there. You can see the color going up in the clouds there. And you can kind of get some of those reflected pinks in the water. I'm looking at that right now. Some grasses and aquatic plants sticking up out of the shallow water with that pink sky in the background. But nothing that's really super drawing my attention at the moment. And I don't want to force anything, because I've already feel like I've maybe forced one too many things. I was a little bit indecisive this evening, a little poor planning on my behalf, and yeah, any day that I'm indecisive for a shoot, it always ends up not going super well, because I always feel like I'm behind. I don't know, that's like the best way that I can describe it. Like I'm always late to the next spot because it took me forever to think of where I wanted to go. But I mean, it's not like the conditions were super crazy today. It was just blue skies, no clouds, really no clouds over the area that I'm in. A little hazy sunlight, which was kind of nice in some spots, casting some rays, but not in the areas that I would hoped it would be. It is what it is, and we'll take what we can get. Now I think the only thing that I'm going to do now is maybe set up for a firefly photo potentially, because I have been seeing some fireflies. I saw some fireflies last night, and about a year ago I captured a firefly photo not far from here that I really like. I haven't shared it, but I definitely want more because fireflies are awesome and they make for great photos, and you don't really see too many photos like that, I guess. I mean, you see them in the Great Smoky Mountains, but not around here. So I definitely want to try to grab one more of those photos, although I do got to stay out a little bit later, and I am kind of exhausted with how hot it's been today. I'm still sweating, even though it's definitely cooled down significantly. It's supposed to be hotter tomorrow. It says it was supposed to be like 91, and it probably will feel hotter than that with the humidity. But I would like to try to get up for sunrise tomorrow at Wolf Run, so I'll probably start a new video there, a new section to this vlog series. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to vlog the firefly section, because it's going to be dark and you guys aren't going to be able to see me, and I don't have enough lights to probably film something like that, so I'm probably just going to cut it here, and I'll let you guys know how that firefly shoot goes in the next video or so. But yeah, it definitely felt a little out of sync today in terms of photos. But today was more so of a planning day. I think that's the most important part. I have written down a list of places that I want to revisit, new places I want to check out, and I think that's going to be helpful in the long run, even if it meant kind of being like a hindrance on today's agenda, so to speak. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. Nice little ending here on the boardwalks of the Red House Lake wetland, and I'll see you guys in the next part. All right, I lied. I'm not ending the vlog just yet. Now that I finally got some space to record, I want to kind of fill you guys in on what my very last minute plan is gonna be for this firefly picture. I was gonna pull in and shoot this firefly photo from the same exact spot I shot it last year, but then I was like, that'd be kind of lame. I don't want to take the same picture that I already have, because well, I don't think the picture's perfect. I think it's good enough. I think it's pretty good, actually. But this is a composition I found back in September. It was kind of just an off-the-cuff thing, and I'm thinking maybe now it could double as sort of like in this emergency last-minute need of a composition. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see it, but it's basically this little ravine where there's a little creek that leads up to this nice tree over there. And I don't see any fireflies out just yet, so I'm kind of, I think I actually just saw one. The real question will be, though, how many fireflies will there be? Because that obviously will affect how this photo is going to work. We need a lot of fireflies. Since we don't have the synchronous fireflies here, I'm probably going to need to blend together multiple images of firefly trails so they actually look visible without having to like zoom in a ton, because that was the problem I ran into last time. I didn't want to do a big blend, but that was the only way I could make it visible that there were fireflies in the picture, and that was, basically the main reason I took the picture. I think I blended about 30 images of firefly trails together. But I did see one firefly trail, and I haven't seen any more. But yeah, I figured this would be a better place to leave off the vlog than where I just left it. So that's kind of my plan. If it ends up panning out, you guys will see it at the start or at the end of the next video. I got the truck parked just over there, and yeah, I did see another firefly. I see him right there. Okay. That's a good sign. I feel like, well, now the question is, are they going to show up over where my composition is? Because I've been seeing them in a couple spots that are not where I was planning on taking this picture. And time is of the essence, because I want a good blue hour foreground to blend in, because if I wait till it's dark, then I'm not going to be able to focus, and that's going to be a huge pain. So wish me luck, fingers crossed everything goes well, and I'll see you guys in part 2.